What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. Again, if you tuned in during the Eagles preview only a couple of hours ago. But this time, it's for the Phillies recap. And said Phillies recap, we'll be talking about another Phillies win. That is 5 in a row. They take the first of a 4-game series down in Miami. They win by a score of 5-2. Ranger Suarez, definitely early on, was testing my concerns with the velocity, but he still ended up having a very solid 5 innings of work of no earned runs, only a few hits allowed and only a few walks, a couple of strikeouts in there as well. Definitely ramped up the velocity as the game went along, so maybe it was deliberate as to why his velocity was so down. Maybe he was working on his command or something like that. So that is something we're going to have to wait and hear from Rob Thompson. I'm sure he's been talking at this point. So hopefully there is an answer for maybe the concerned velocity with Ranger Suarez, because it definitely was down. Like, his fastball was like around 89, 88. The curveball was insanely slow. The changeup was insanely slow. Even though he was still getting outs and he was still getting the job done with that, it was still a little bit concerning because of velocity dip. Even though Ranger's not really a velocity guy, he's more of a finesse command type of guy. Even when your velocity is that low, it's going to raise some question marks at the end of the day. But got the job done, and he still had a very solid start overall. So, like I said, if Rob Thompson has anything to say about that, or if even Ranger Suarez has anything to say about that, we'll probably get some answers here in the next few minutes. Also, what else is good news revolving around this Phillies win is that the Braves just lost their series finale to the Colorado Rockies. So that adds another half game to your division lead. So I believe the division lead was 7 games going into tonight. So you win, plus the Braves loss. That makes it an 8-game division lead. So, hey, making it work all around. And also because the Dodgers and the Brewers don't play today. So I believe now you're tied with the Dodgers with the best record in the National League, and technically with the tiebreaker, because you do own the tiebreaker over LA. That gives you the best record in the National League right now, the top seed and the top seed for the bye. And that just adds another half-game lead on the Milwaukee Brewers. So that is also very crucial and uber important as well. So good on the Phils. Good on the Phils. Offensively, definitely left a lot to be desired. Bryson Stott had a very solid game overall, drove in a couple of RBIs, including his bomb of a solo shot. Cody Clemens drove in a couple of RBIs with a 2-run double, which the Phillies had a 4-run inning. I believe it was in the 6th. So, hey, they put runs on the board. They eventually did, and the pitching took care of the job the rest of the way. There were still some things that I didn't like. You had bases loaded, 1 out with Johan Rojas up at the plate, and then you grounded into a double play on the first pitch. Definitely nothing that I like to see there. Bryce Harper in the lineup once again, and I believe Bryce Harper did have a quote. I believe it was either from last night or something going into the night's game. So basically, they were talking about the way that his soreness is going, is that maybe it was more like a hyperextension, talking about the swing and misses from the other night in Toronto where it looked completely ugly and it looked like he was in a ton of pain. So they were basically just saying that, okay, it's hyperextension basically. They're not saying it's hyperextension. That's what everyone's assuming at this point. So if it's hyperextension, that basically they're summarizing it as, oh, if we give Bryce Harper days off, it's not really going to do him any benefit because, it's not really going to help him. So he's just going to play through it, and that's basically the way it goes. Doctors approved of it. Doctors said that, okay, if you're going to have rest days, it's not going to really help in that scenario. You're going to deal with this over the next case in point. You're just going to have to swing through it at the end of the day. So we'll see. I don't trust them regardless at this point, because once again, Alec Bohm was not in the lineup, even though they were saying he was expected to be back for this series. Maybe he'll get some time in the next few games, but I'm just thinking to myself, why didn't you just put Bohm on the 10-day IL? So that's something else to be noted there. Maybe they're just being uber precautious with Bohm, especially with all the room and cushion that they do have, which I don't mind at the end of the day. I just wish there was more clearance. I just wish there was more of a stop lying to us, please, even though no organization is honest when it comes to fucking injuries. But, it's just unreal. Also sucks to see that, Austin Hayes, now he's dealing with a kidney infection. Like, Jesus Christ, can this dude catch a break? At the end of the day, my God, he needs a break. Well, can he catch a break? He got the hamstring injury not that long ago. And he was sick yesterday, and I guess that sickness turned into a fucking kidney infection. What the hell, man? Like, what did this dude do? What did he do to get freaking hamstring pulled, kidney infections? My God, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. Man's taking a beating ever since being traded here. So hopefully everything goes into a speedy recovery from that. But overall, just really not much to discuss from this game. Bryson Stott's solo shot was nice to see. Also had a blooper of the RBI and the Cody Clemens, situation. He also scored on a wild pitch during the Kyle Schwarber at bat later in the ball game as well during that 4-run sixth inning. So that basically all it was to take down this not good Marlins team. You basically are going up against a AAA type of squad. So just got to take care of business in this series. You got Zach Wheeler tomorrow, and you got Aaron Nola on Saturday, and actually Seth Johnson is going to be pitching on Sunday. The Phillies are actually going to be calling him up. He was the guy that they acquired. He was one of the two pitchers that they acquired in the Juan Soto, not the Juan Soto deal, the Gregory Soto deal. I'm not talking about Juan Soto. That Juan Soto's never played for the Phillies. Maybe he will. Maybe next season. Maybe that'll be the case. But wasn't Juan Soto. It was Gregory Soto that they acquired. So definitely was not Juan Soto. So yeah, and if we just want to look at Seth Johnson, because I believe that's something intriguing. He's actually been pretty good since being traded over and being in the Phillies farm system. So overall, I believe he's also dealt with some arm injuries over the years, so that's why he hasn't really been able to get a chance with the Baltimore Orioles. He was one of their top prospects in their system, so definitely has been very intriguing overall. His career stats in minor league baseball, he is 9-16 with a 2.7 ERA in 67 games. He's got 269 strikeouts with a whip of 1.24. So overall in this season in minor league baseball, he's 2-7 with a 2.33 ERA in 23 games, 88 innings pitched with an 83 strikeouts and a 1.20 whip. So very solid stuff, and basically since being traded over to the Phillies. So he was in Reading after the trade, and then they called him up to AAA. So in in two starts in AA, he went 0-1 with a 3.52 ERA. And then ever since getting called up to Lehigh Valley, he's been really good, actually. In 3 starts, he's 2-0 with a .56 ERA in 16 innings pitched. So obviously, yeah, the innings is definitely not anything too extreme, but he's actually been very, very, very solid. He's got 13 strikeouts. He had a whip of .69, a batting average against of .094. So he's been very, very good since being called up to AAA, and I guess he just earned that start. So he's going to be starting on Sunday. So no Tyler Phillips and even no Taijuan Walker will probably come out of the bullpen on that day. So we don't know about how deep Johnson will go into the game. It just depends on how good he pitches. I'm sure he won't have that long of an inning limit or anything like that. It'll probably be like 5-6 innings at most. If he's going good, it'll probably be 6 innings. If it's anything average, it'll probably be around 5 innings or something like that. But hey, why not give this kid a shot? Why not give this kid a shot? I believe there was also another pitcher in the Phillies system that has actually been going well. It was also the other pitcher they acquired in the Gregory Soto deal. It was Moises Chase down in AA so far. So since pitching for the Phillies, he's pitched 24 in the third innings, 13 hits, 7 earned runs, only 8 walks, 42 strikeouts, a whip of .86. And I want to actually see his overall stats since coming over to Philadelphia. So I want to see his overall numbers. So overall in his minor league career, he's 21 years old, so he is very young playing in AA. He's 14-13 in his minor league career, 4.29 ERA career-wise, 226 in a third innings pitched, 314 strikeouts, and a whip of .139. This year's stats in total from, I guess, both organizations, he's 5-3 with a 3.18 ERA in 22 games, 76 in a third innings pitched, 118 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.15. So he is definitely a strikeout type of guy. And ever since being traded over to the Phillies organization in Double-A, he is 2-0 with a 1.72 ERA in 3 starts, 15 and 2/3 innings. He's got a WHIP of .77, an average against of 137. He's got 29 strikeouts in that span, so he does strike out a lot. And I mean, he strikes out a lot of hitters, so that's definitely something intriguing for the future there. So it does look like the Phillies worked out in that case with the Gregory Soto trade. So, like I said, very intriguing for the future, and it's a good chance to see what these kids got. Good chance to see what these kids got. So, you know what I mean? So good stuff there. And if we just want to look at today's game, see where the runs came in, Bryson Stott gets the Phillies on the board early in the top of the first with that bloop single, which made it 1-0. They had more chances to score, but they got that 1-run home. Ranger Suarez does his thing basically with the velocity concerns. Like I said, Phillies go down 1-2-3 in the top of the second inning. Schwarber did actually lead off with a double in the top of the third. He did not come around to score there. Ranger Suarez dealing with a couple of base runners in certain innings. The third inning, he allowed a couple of base runners, got out of that situation. Top of the fourth, JT singled, Marsh walked, Clemens walked. Obviously, that was the bases loaded situation where Rojas grounded to a double play on the first pitch, so no runs scored there. Bottom fifth, they go down 1-2-3. Top of the sixth, that's where the Phillies finally get the runs on the board. Bryson Stott with the solo shot, so nice to see there from Bryson. JT walks, and then Marsh singles. Marlins, they go to the bullpen. They go lefty-lefty matchup against Clemens. He doubles down the left field line, scores 2 runs there, and then Cody Clemens scores on during the Kyle Schwarber at bat, if I am not mistaken. So 5-0 Phillies lead there. Ruiz, he comes in to pitch the 6th inning. It was absolutely dominant. 1-2-3, 2 strikeouts in that case. Bottom of the 7th inning, Lazar out there. He does allow a run and a couple of base runners, so it becomes a 5-1 Phillies lead. Kerkering, he does allow a run, but no thanks to Cody Clemens because he completely botched a inning-ending out. So it was a grounder that he had to run for in the shallow infield, and he just completely launched the throw way past Bryce Harper. It goes out of play, and the run scored because of that. So that should have been a run off the board, but sadly it goes on the board. Became 5-2 Phillies, but then Matt Strum got the save in the 9th inning, retiring the Marlins. 1-2-3 there. And if you want to look at the lineup today overall, not much offense on both sides. Both sides only had 7 hits, but the Phillies did score the 5 runs, obviously. Kyle Schwarber, he went 1 for 5 with the double and 3 strikeouts. Trey Turner, he goes 0 for 4 with a walk and a run scored. Bryce Harper 0 for 3 with a walk. Nick Castellanos 0 for 3 with a walk. Bryson Stott 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. JT 1 for 3 with a walk. Marsh 1 for 3 with a walk. Cody Clemens 1 for 3 with a 2-run double and a walk as well. And then Johan Rojas goes 1 for 4. Phillies in total as a team, they went 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They left 6 runners on base. And if you want to look at the pitching box score today, 5 innings for Ranger Suarez, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. His ERA now drops below 3. It is at 2.90. Ruiz, he had a dominant inning, struck out 2 in the 6th inning of work. Lazar, he allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run in the 7th. Kerkering, he allowed 1 hit and an unearned run on 2 strikeouts as well. And then Matt Strom struck out 1 in a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 9th inning. So good stuff there. Mostly from the bullpen, I guess, except from Lazar. Kerkering was good. It was just no help from Cody Clemens there on the defensive side, which led to an unearned run. So I do want to see if there's anything more in terms of just a division. Let's see. I do remember seeing something about the magic number for the Phillies. I'm not sure who talked about it. I think it was John Kincaid or something like that. I got to go and see and check it out just to make sure. Oh, here it is. Yep. Phillies' magic number to win in NL East is now down to 15 games. So I'm assuming that's combined with their wins and Braves losses. So it could definitely be happening in the near future or something like that. So that is very good at that point. So I do believe their magic number to clinch a playoff spot is maybe like a game or two shorter than that. It might be like around 14 games, 13 games or something like that. And I believe their magic number to clinch a bye is probably like around 16, 17, or 18 games the last time I saw. So they're in a pretty good spot. with a lot of time, well, not a lot of time left in the season, still a few weeks, but they can definitely get that in the next few weeks or so, getting that magic number down and getting those playoff spot in the division clinched. Hopefully the bye week as well, because they definitely need that, in my full honest opinion. So yeah, overall, not the most eventful type of game. It was more of a boring game than not, because I really didn't pay attention to much of the game once the Phillies went up 5-0, because I figured at the end of the day, okay, the Marlins are not going to come back into this game. This is really just, okay, I can do whatever I want to do. I could watch the game between the Chiefs and the Ravens, because that'll be, priority going into after the stream as well. Definitely will be watching the rest of that game. And obviously for tomorrow, the priority is going to be the Eagles, because obviously it's the first first game of the Eagles season, so that should take the priority. So I'm still debating overall what to do with this Marlins series as a whole, either because obviously I won't do the recap tomorrow, and Saturday definitely is up in the air. Maybe we just save it off for Sunday's recap or something like that. So it's definitely, let it wait and see, because overall games against the Marlins, they're not going to do that well view-wise, so I'm trying to see what's best for the channel. And obviously, like I said, Eagles tomorrow, that's going to take the priority and everything like that, so y'all understand at the end of the day. So it'll be a play-by-ear. You'll see something pop up in your subscription feed when it does, so that's basically it there at the end of the day. So if I scroll more here through Twitter just to see if there's anything on Ranger Suarez following the game, I don't think there is. So yeah, that's basically it. There's nothing that I'm seeing from Rob Thompson talking about Ranger or anything post game from Rangers. So I'll get to you guys here in the comments section, well, the live chat actually, and we'll enjoy the rest of our night if you're watching the Baltimore and the Chiefs play. So Jose Perez, what's the magic number for the win division? It's 15. It is 15, and yes, Braves lost, so now it is an 8-game division lead. I actually did forget to check the NL standings lead on the Brewers and the Dodgers. Might as well look at that as well. So right now we are tied with the Dodgers, but technically the Phillies do have the tiebreaker, so the Phillies do have the best record in the National League. They got the first seed so far for the time being, and they're now 3 games ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers because they lost 2 in a row, so that is very crucial there as well. So definitely very important there, so that's good stuff. And then like I said, with the division, 8-game lead now. The Mets are actually tied with the Braves, so I wonder if the Braves fell out of a wild card spot after that. Yeah, it looks like it did. They're tied for the 3rd wild card spot now. So if you're just looking at the wild card spot, in general, the Padres, they have the 1st wild card spot by a game lead over the Diamondbacks. They got a 3.5 game cushion over the 3rd wild card team as well. The Diamondbacks have the 2nd wild card cushion by 2.5 games. So basically right now it's just between the Braves and the Mets, because the Cubs, they're 4 games behind the 3rd wild card spot. The Cardinals, they're 5 games behind. So yeah, it's basically just a battle between the Mets and the Braves at this point. So that'll be an interesting way to see what's going on now the rest of the season. The Mets have actually won 7 in a row, so we'll see how that continues going down towards the rest of the season. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff indeed. Interesting stuff. Yeah. So like I said, you got 3 more games here with the Marlins in terms of pitching matchups. Zach Wheeler is going to be on the mound tomorrow against Edward Cabrera. Then Saturday, that's going to be Aaron Nola against McColgan. And then Seth Johnson's going to make his Major League debut on Sunday. So that'll be fun to watch at least. So yeah, good stuff here by the Phils. It's 5 wins in a row. Been winning a lot more games as of late. If we're looking at the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games, they're 10-2 in their last 12 games. So that's really good. Really good there by the Phils. So we'll see how it continues. 84-56 on the year. That is 28 games above 500. So just keep it rolling, boys. Just keep it rolling into the postseason. So yeah. I think Kyle Schwarber needs to play left field in the playoffs and get a better bat in the lineup for DH. Rojas cannot be starting playoff games. Use Clemens or Sosa or whoever at DH. Well, you can also just do Marsh in center field and then Clemens in left if you wanted to, personally. That can also be, because Clemens can play the outfield, in my personal opinion. I think he needs to learn how to play the outfield better, but I think he can play the outfield for whatever it's worth. So that could be an option. But I don't think that's going to be the case. It'll probably be Austin Hayes. Johnson, AAA pitcher of the month. Yep, both of those guys were pitchers of the month. So looking pretty good right here. Looking pretty good right here. Yep, magic number is 15 for the division for the Phillies. And I think, like I said, I think the playoff magic number, like the playoffs, just a playoff spot clinch is like lesser. And then the bye week is a little bit more than the division clinch. So we'll see as it carries on. So that Brewers series actually in a couple of weeks definitely could decide what happens with the bye week, honestly. So we'll see how that carries on. We'll see. But yeah, that'll do it for tonight, everybody. I appreciate you all, as always. Like I said, tomorrow, depending on what I'm able to do, I do try to plan on doing a live stream during the Eagles game, just watching it together and hanging out there, if I am able to. So, like I said, you'll see something pop up in your subscription feed if it does. But most likely, if we don't do the watch party, it'll still be a live recap after that. So you don't have to worry about that. But yep, tomorrow's definitely going to be 100% Eagles focused, and we'll decide what to do for the rest of this Marlins series. I'm more thinking of pushing it back till after Sunday's game, so we'll see what happens there. So it's a play-by-ear thing. Like I said, you'll see something pop up in your subscription feed when it does. So appreciate you guys as always. Always love you. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Does me a great deal of service. Also, don't forget to use the code TTPSPORTS. $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up. That'll do it for tonight, everybody.